watching something with Neil deGrasse Tyson. And just thinking about how I was in San Diego. Oh, not San Diego. Huntington Beach, because the guys in the Army always said that I reminded them of an HB boy. I don't know that was a compliment at all. But the guys that I was hanging out with from the LA area, that I ended up becoming friends with California people. So, figured I should go to Huntington Beach. After we got back from the desert, I had like $8,000 in the bank, and Meat and I had been writing letters in the tent at night, you know, because the Air Force had tents use tag. And so I'd crawl out of my hole and go in the tent, and we'd write letters to people at home. And we'd talk, and we talked about the money that we had saved up. And we decided if we get out of here, because still don't know what's gonna happen. Hell, I could crash on the fucking airport runway if they let me in the cockpit. We decided we were going to squander some when we got back. And so I was just getting out, and he took some leave. It took 30 days. And traveled around Europe, and then near the end of it said, let's go to fucking Huntington Beach. I said, I gotta see this fucking place. And I really wanted to go there because it was about as close as I got to the eclipse, the solar eclipse in July of '91. That's when we went there. I wanted to be there for the eclipse because I read it in my Discover magazines. I had a subscription, and they were talking about Einstein, and there's an eclipse coming up, you know, and they gave eclipses in the near future, and that was one of them, and it happened to be a time that I could make it, and due to the Saddam Hussein savings plan. And it talked about how Einstein, he used an eclipse to prove part of his theory, whether it was a special or a general. I'm sure it was a general, but he wanted to watch the way the light moved around the sun and the moon in an eclipse, solar. And I also saw written somewhere that he faked his whole theory on that it didn't actually work. What he was saying was gonna fucking work. And the newspapers spread it all over the place that it did, and it made him a star. So I hope he fixed it since then. But then I sat and wondered, we made it there, got as close to the Baja Peninsula as we were gonna, because that's where it was supposed to be best seen. But we were in Huntington Beach, and it wasn't such a big deal. I was standing on the beach. The ocean didn't turn to fire or anything like that. Fish didn't talk. And I'm thinking about that. And since then, you know, since this day that I'm looking at the eclipse and thinking about that article, I'm like, why would you even fucking need it to be in the day, you know? And since then I watch, there's a star that's very close to the moon. I like to see if I can see it fucking shift. You know, it's the idea of gravity having sway over fucking photons of light. You know, it's both a particle and a photon. It's got its little secrets, and I would think you could watch it just that way. And then here it is, Neil deGrasse Tyson is talking to some guy, and they showed the picture of the black hole in the Milky Way that we can see. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, wow. And they also had the sound of it, which was odd, but you know, Neil's right. It's not meant to be heard that way. We had to change it to fucking meet our range of fucking hearing. But looking at that thing, and I saw that the red going around it, and you can see it going around it, and it's just fucking, it's like, wow, right there at the event horizon, I guess. And he says, and you see there's the shadow of the black hole, and right there he says, you see the light bending around it, and I said, there, motherfucker. He said it. He knows it. He didn't even feel like explaining it. It seems like such common knowledge, but it was very validating is what it was. Yeah. You get enough fucking gravity, you can bend light. And with a heart made of stone, you can sway the entire world.